Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are reviewing the new Nomad palette. This is the Chamonix Apres-Ski palette. Excuse my butchering of that. I took 4 years of Latin in high school, not 4 years of French. This is how Google says you say it.
Chamonix Apres-Ski.
So that is what we are doing a first impression of today. This beautiful palette that has winter inspired themes. I did something with the pinks on my left eye, and I did something that was purple and pink and blue on the right eye. So if that is something that you are interested in, if you want to see swatches of this palette and my first impressions, then keep on watching. Hello 2025, and we are off to enjoy the fresh air and powder snow in Chamonix, France. Wishing you an inspired new year and hope Chamonix starts it off sparkling. Cheers to a happy and healthy 2025 from Nomad Cosmetics. Introducing the new Chamonix Apres-Ski Intense Color Palette from Nomad Cosmetics. On a cool, crisp afternoon in the quintessential alpine village of Chamonix, friends flushed after a day on the slopes gather to cheers the start of a much-loved tradition, Apres-Ski. In the shadow of Mont Blanc's peak come sounds of clinking glasses, smells of delicious fondue, and sights of winter pastels streaming across the sky. As light begins to fade and the merriment goes on, the cheer grows louder and boots get on the table. Then the only question is, last call or first chair? This palette is inspired by winter pastels. A palette decorated with vintage après-ski scene opens up to a winter twilight hues seen high in the Alps and a spectrum of cool pastels from soft and subdued to deep and decadent. This palette includes 9 wintry mattes, 6 twinkling shimmers, and 3 magical duochromes. For this cause, we are proud to support Inspire Mont Blanc Association that works for better air quality and the protection of the environment in the Mont Blanc region. This is the Chamonix Apres-Ski Intense Color Palette. So this is what the palette looks like. It has this beautiful scene that fits the description of the palette. And inside you have that scene going around the mirror. And then you have the classic Nomad backing that tells you the calls and where you're going. And then this is 18 shades of 0.05 ounces and 1.5 grams. It's cruelty-free and vegan, and it's good for 12 months. This is what the shades look like. I do think this was a typo because online it says there's only 2 duochromes, and it's this one, these two. If I had to guess the third one, I would think that it's this one because of the swatches, which you'll see. But I have put together about 12 looks total for this palette already, and I have some more. I cannot wait to play with this. And I'm filming this before New Moon, just in case the red from New Moon stains my eyelid, but we're gonna hope not. So my eyes are primed with the Juvia's Place primer, and I want to start, I think I want to do a pink eye first, and then I think I want to do something a little more dramatic. So I'm going to do something pink on my left eye, and we will start with that eye first. So I'm starting off look number 1 by going into the third deepest pink, which is Hot Savoy. Excuse me if I butchered that. And I'm going to run that in my crease. I did watch a few videos on this palette, and I did see some people having issues with this shade. And I ended up having issues with this shade, but I do like to form my own opinions in videos. So I tried not to watch too many videos on this palette. But I'm going to take that first pink shade and blend it in my crease. And I did notice that the shade kind of blended away, so I do have to go back into it later. And for that Hot Savoy shade, I am using a Sigma E27 brush, which is just perfect for my eye shape. And then I'm going with Off Piste, which is the medium pink in the palette. I'm using that to blend out any edges of the Hot Savoy. And then I end up going back into Hot Savoy because I felt like it kind of blended away to nothing. So you'll see me patting more pink into my crease because I kind of felt like it blended away. I'm so sorry for going out of frame. I used the deepest purple in the palette to add some depth to my outer corner, and you can see me here patting that shade into my outer corner to add that darkness to the look. And then I'm just showing you here, I had some issues blending, kind of like a blank spot that just would not pick up any shadow. So I'm going over it again with that deep purple and then going back into Hot Savoy, that first shade, and trying to blend. It kind of fixed it, but you can still see that dot. But I also know that the way my camera is and the lighting, sometimes it can make things appear more harsh than they are in real life. And then after blending Hot Savoy onto the medium middle part of my lid, I'm going to take the lightest pink, which is kind of like a white. It's called Raclette. I'm putting that on my lid before I go into the very first shimmer in the palette and pop that in my inner corner. That little brush, and I'm gonna go into Raclette, and I'm gonna put that underneath my brow bone to kind of carve out my brow a little. And then whatever's left, I will blend the edge. So that's what you have with the edges blended. Part of 2025 is that I want to use up products I don't really like that are in my collection, and one of those is the Fenty Fly Liner. So I'm just going to do a very small little wing on this purple side, and I'll be right back. So this is just with a little wing from the Fenty Fly Liner. I actually really like this. So this is the look with the mascara, and for this I'm using the Essence Lash Princess, the teal one. So this is a really pair of old lashes. I'm pretty sure they still make these, but just in case they don't, they are the Ardell 120 natural lashes. They look like this if you want to try to find a comparable lash, and they came in this kind of packaging, so that's why I know it's old. But this is the first look with lashes. For look number one, I'm going to go in with Off Piste, which is that medium pink. Rub that along the lower lash line. I'm gonna take Raclette in the inner corner. And then I think I want to do a really pink eyeliner. So this is look number 1 for the Nomad palette. And I have this shimmery white called Deglaze by Ulta. I want to take this and just pop a tiny bit of like a shimmering white in my inner corner on look number 1 and see if that makes like any difference. Yes, that's what it needed. So the second look, I really, really, really want to do a look with that on the lid. And that's what we're going to do. So we're starting off look number 2 with that pink Hot Savoy shade again. And I'm going to put this above my natural crease, almost like a cut crease, but faking it. And then I'm also using a different brush, so this is going to tell me if that was that pink shade that was just underperforming on look number 1, or if it was the brush, or was it me. And I'm going to blend that, and then I'm going to take the second deepest purple and put that in the outer half, and then slowly blend that into the pink where they meet. And I'm really taking my time blending that purple shade into the outer half because it has a almost blue undertone, and I'm hoping that by slowly blending it into the pink it will create a purple in the middle, which it ends up kind of doing. And then I'm going to take the lightest pink in the palette after I clean off my brush with the Sigma switch, and I clean up the edges with the lightest pink in the palette, which is called Raclette. And then I go back into that first purple shade we did, which is the second darkest purple in the middle column. I'm going to apply that to the outer corner just to tie everything in. And then I'm going to take the darkest purple in the palette and apply that to the outer corner to add some depth to this look, which really takes it to just another level. And with Nomad shadows, you can use your finger to apply shimmer. You could use a glitter base, but I'm taking a wet brush and that shimmering purple shade that I showed you at the beginning of the look and applying that to my lid, almost like a fake cut crease. I'm really emphasizing that line between that shimmer and the pink, and I actually go back in with just the tiniest bit of pink after I apply this to clean everything up. This is look number 2 with just a tiny, tiny little wing, and I'm going to do mascara and I'll be right back. So this is look number 2 with the Essence slash Princess Mascara, and I'm going to do the same fake eyelashes and I'll be right back. This is look number 2 with the lashes. Ooh, yes. That's exactly what I wanted, and this tip is beautiful. And this is a flat definer brush. I'm going to go in with La Terrace. Just on the very edge, and then that pink in the inner corner. And meet those two up again. So that is what I got, and then I'm going to take Raclette and pop that in my inner corner. And again, very tightly to my brow. Just kind of lifts everything up. Oh my god, this look is so pretty. So this is look number 2 with that new Nomad palette. It is absolutely gorgeous. So first impressions, I love the packaging. I love that every Nomad palette comes with a postcard and they are dedicated to certain charities and causes. The outer packaging looks exactly like the palette. This beautiful French kind of countryside snowy theme. The inside is also a picture. It has the shades and the destination, which I keep my outer cartons and I slide the postcard in there to keep it for safekeeping. And then the actual palette itself has that beautiful snowy landscape, and then on the back the same usual information. It's cruelty free and vegan, it's good for 12 months, the cause, and where we're going. I love that it goes all the way into the inside, and I love the names. I don't know much about French culture, but from looking up the names, it seems very in tune with the palette, which I really appreciate. My first impressions were that this palette was gorgeous, and because I was not into Nomad during the Whistler palette, I'll put the name on the screen. There was a palette that this is compared to. It's like Whistler Snow Lodge, and it reminded me of that, and I did not know about Nomad back then, so I had to pick this up and get it. First impressions from the swatches. Hot Savoy, it didn't swatch very well. Mountain Chalet did not swatch very well. And the Les Alpes, that pink duochrome, it crumbled in the pan. Like, I don't know if this is gonna see. It just kind of crumbled. The other one didn't do that so much bad, but it's like kind of messed up now. I used, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I used 8 shades today. So I used the duochrome pink, the lightest matte, the medium matte, and the darkest matte of the pink. The darkest purple, the medium purple, and the light blue, and the shimmery purple were the colors I used. So these two, all 3 of these, and this one are the ones that I used today. My first impressions before even diving into the palette were that I was very, very intrigued by this. I was one of those people guessing for a free palette. Loved it. Loved the little sneak peeks. I love that Nomad engages with its customers on Instagram. And I wish they were more present on TikTok, but I cannot complain about that. It's hard to be on everything. Overall, I thought there was a few shadows in this that you kind of have to finesse. After doing these 2 looks, I really don't like the darkest pink Hot Savoy. It was just very hard to blend and kind of patchy. Overall, the two looks that I created, especially this one, were very beautiful, very unique. That pink purple duochrome, I don't know if I have anything like that in my collection. It is literally so blinding. Like, oh my god, it is gorgeous. So that is my final looks and my first impression of the new Nomad Chamonix Apres-Ski palette. I would love to know in the comments what you thought of these two looks I created. Did you end up picking up this palette? Was this something that you were interested in? I would love to have a conversation about this palette in the comments down below. After using the palette, I have to say I'm really, really impressed. I cannot wait to do 5 looks, 1 palette with this video. So if you don't know, when I do, before I film my content, I go to Procreate and I pull up a face chart that I created. And I go through and make my 10 looks or so that I plan to do so that I can move the colors around and that kind of thing. Normally I try to do 10 looks with every palette and have an idea of the colors based off the picture of the palette as well as swatches. Guys, I am at like 12 or 13 looks with this and I still have like 4 more blanks that I want to sketch on. I am so into this color story. I am neutral skin tone but I lean kind of more cool, and just cool toned colors just look so on me. And especially this blue eyeliner, I can tell the difference between the pink and the blue. The blue really makes my blue eyes pop, and I can tell the difference in that. So after using the palette, I think that dark pink you're gonna have to finesse it. I really love the shimmery purple on my lid. I think it's such a unique color. Overall, I'm really, really impressed. I cannot wait to do more looks with this, and I wanted to film this one first before I dive into New Moon, because New Moon is a larger collection and this was just a palette. So overall, I'm really excited. I would love to know if you are interested in this palette. Did you pick it up? Did this speak to you? Maybe you're waiting for a Nomad spring sale to pick it up. It is permanent, so you don't need to rush. And when I say permanent, I mean it's not limited edition for Nomad, which means they will have it at least for 12 months, so you don't have to run to get it. I ran to get it because it was just so gorgeous. I needed it. But I would love to know your thoughts on this new France-inspired palette by Nomad. Were you intrigued? Did you want it? If you like this video, please consider subscribing to my channel and give this video a like.